So finally, we'll see if this is going to work.
Let's give it a go.
This is the
Been wanting to play this for a long time. I've been told by many
second
people that this is a very immersive game.
attempt at doing the Firewatch commentary, because the first attempt
that a lot of people call
I tried using a separate digital recorder to get past a couple of issues that we had and trying to play the video, and the audio was absolutely terrible. And so we lost about 2.5 hours of commentary.
And also now things are going to be a bit different because Minty and Bay aren't here.
So, let's see what we got.
Yeah, it's just 3 of us doing the commentary this time instead of 4 or 5 of us.
Okay, so let's go set things on fire.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Wait, isn't that Little Inferno?
I love that game.
Right, I was playing that just earlier, but I got bored pretty quick.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm not familiar with this game.
Oh, Little Inferno's great, but we'll talk about it at a time when we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Boulder, Colorado, 1975.
Okay, how am I supposed to comment when you're already commenting, dude?
I don't comment through most of it, but I do, you know,
The flashbacks.
I do read this stuff. Or at least I start doing. Oh yeah, this sits here for a second because, you know, there wasn't a prompt to, you know, press the button to continue. So I just sat there waiting for it to continue.
Laughing with well-dressed professors and grad students from nearby CU Boulder. You.
Very pretty music.
Yeah.
It was.
You approach her.
Play Gone Home.
You are drunk.
You're pretty.
So, see, like, the right one is beer drunk.
Uh-huh.
The left one is, like,
Martini drunk.
martini drunk.
Yeah.
You noticed that, right?
Yeah, and I decided that Henry was a beer drinker, not a martini drinker.
I don't know how drunk Henry gets.
Something, I talk about it in a little bit. I said this is in the 70s, is when all of this is happening. And of course, I mean, I'm in my 40s, and yet I still would have been a child when all of this was happening. So we're talking about, you know, people like my parents' age here.
Ew.
I mean, you know, culturally, in the time period, this is about people who are my parents' age. You know, something that would have happened to someone then. This isn't someone now. You know, for what differences that makes. I think it would make some. And of course, I also had the issue of when it first cut to the elevator and another couple of scenes, I was having trouble figuring out that you're talking about 2 different time periods. This is now, which in relation to the game, I think you find out here in just a few minutes, is, you know, like in the 80s, sometime in the mid or late 80s, something like that.
Spoilers.
It's going to literally be in the game before we're done talking with it in this session.
Bass, I'm getting tired of petting you, sweetie.
And of course, it also drove me nuts because I'm used to an adventure game where you would be going and touching everything in here to see what you could pick up and take with you.
Now, you know, normally...
And of course, you're capable of walking very, very slowly.
Which, of course, you enjoy.
Yeah.
I know you enjoy because it frustrates me when you play Dragon Age. And I want
And
to slap
walk
you.
everywhere because I won't run.
Yes. I want to slap you when that happens.
Thank you.
I can't. And
Bust
also
down the
that would be
gate!
horrible.
I can't seem to do.
Or wander off.
Interact with anything.
That works too.
Yay, he's walking quickly! And he's back to slow.
You couldn't interact with the gate. Matter of fact, you can't interact with anything. Except for, you know, the couple of things that you have to do to make it through this scene and get on to the rest of the game.
There's a ladder there that I'd love to have. Because I know this isn't strictly speaking an action game.
But still, you never know when you'll need a ladder, right?
Let me just
Well,
shove
and
this
as it
in my
turns
bag of
out,
infinite
you know,
holding.
where we're headed, the ladder would have been really useful.
Far down am I?
But you're not allowed to take things with you.
Okay.
You must
Well,
cut ties
I would have
with your
taken the
past.
fire extinguisher with me too if I could
Yeah.
pick up environmental
I mean, that would have made
objects.
perfect sense.
Because it's an action game, and you never know when you might need to kill someone with a fire extinguisher or put out a fire.
I still say this was somebody should have been paying attention. Because this is a minor
You
continuity
dated for over
error.
a year. She drives you absolutely nuts. It's great.
Kind of like you and me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the
You move
driving
in,
you nuts
share an
part.
apartment
Yeah.
near the school with a view of the mountains. You two drink beers out on the deck. You drink beer just about anywhere. Life is
See,
good.
like you said, beer drunk.
Since alcoholism coming in. Julia wants to get a dog.
Don't do it, Julia.
Baby.
Not an indoor dog.
There's a scruffy, undersized beagle. Julia is in love. She wants to bring it with her to class. There's also an intimidating but gentle-eyed German shepherd. Nothing bad could happen to Julia while walking this dog. It's badass. Julia likes the beagle, named Bucket.
But what about Mayhem?
I was about to say, if I remember correctly, you were really upset that we didn't pick... No, you were upset that we forgot about Mayhem.
Yes, it's not that I'm upset that you picked,
Bucket
Bucket.
instead of Mayhem.
but like you forgot about Mayhem within a
4
week.
years later.
What kind of monster sees a beautiful, gentle-eyed German shepherd and forgets it?
Radiates off the high desert.
I think the whole point of that sentence is to reassure you that there wasn't a wrong answer. You made either choice is the right choice. They're just different choices.
Couple little idiots.
Why didn't you just adopt both?
Yeah,
Right.
Because that wasn't part of the story.
But that would have been awesome.
In that case, we
Yeah,
should
but
probably
it
marry.
it wasn't part of the
Yeah, I
story.
would like that, you say.
Pass, do you want another dog?
These kids are going to be
Pass,
screwed
you're
up
not paying
enough. It's
attention to
probably
me.
the best that their
Nope,
parents
he's
are kids.
grooming. And when he grooms, he doesn't pay attention to the outside world. And now we're in the woods.
So what you're saying is that our dog suffers
This
from
is
hygiene
present
hypnosis?
Yes.
Pickup stuff. This is all present.
Absolutely, 100%. You're doing a thing in the wilderness.
Steering wheel's taken from a Dodge Ram.
What? What?
It's just a car nerd thing to say, okay?
It is.
It is! The steering wheel was from a Dodge Ram!
That's a dead end.
That is such... What a thing to notice. Of all the things you could have noticed, you noticed
Which is
that.
actually fairly suitable because, you know, that's modeled sort of after a Jeep pickup, and Jeep is owned by Dodge. The scale's wrong, but it's close. But no, that's what I was talking about earlier is, you know, you get out of your pickup, out of the cab of your pickup, and your bag is gone. It's not in the bed of your pickup anymore. And it turns out you're wearing it, even though you can't see that. You just kind of forget about it until you get to your next destination and you take your backpack off and you realize that you were wearing your backpack the whole time.
Spelled differently, but thoroughfare. No, the way to go.
You're in their country. Learn to live with bears.
Learn to live with the bears.
Thoroughfare
What
Basin.
kind of bears?
Kodiak bears? Black bears?
Sun
brown
bears. They're
Yes,
No sun bears. They're adorable but vicious.
What about drop bears?
No koalas. Kodiak bears are
I don't
nice.
think koala bears are actually bears, though, aren't they? Are they marsupials?
Yes.
And bears aren't marsupials.
No.
No.
Marsupials are marsupials, bears are bears.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
But they're called drop bears.
We're on Thoroughfare Trailhead.
Why are they called drop bears?
I don't know.
why is it called swooping season? Because Australia is madness.
Australia is
Are they
hell.
called drop bears because they drop out of the trees onto your head and attack
I think
you?
so.
Quite possibly.
I think so, but I don't know. I researched bears, not koalas.
Oh my gosh, you can read it.
No, I really was impressed that you can zoom in and read all the little print. Anything that, they wanted you to read, or most things that were just incidental, you could actually read it. Good attention to detail.
Telephone.
As soon as I get some money, I am going to buy you Gone Home. You would love that game.
No, I need to look. Hopefully, maybe later this week, I want to look that oh, what was it called? The one that I wanted to get that was about the astronaut abandoned on another world.
I don't remember.
It's on sale for like 75% off
Oh, wow.
until the 8th.
Get it.
Ruby River.
Hey, Bass. Why don't you go
I know
over
it's
Mom
not
and
terribly
Dad?
dynamic, but I would actually kind of like. I need to see if I've got the soundtrack for this came with it. I know they do that a lot.
Yeah.
We should totally play this at Lacopa this weekend.
Put everybody to sleep, probably. Because that's what I was thinking. I need to put this on when I'm having trouble sleeping. It's nice and relaxing.
On the other hand, tell me that wouldn't be one of the more desirable potential outcomes.
Shh. We're not supposed to say that out loud.
No fireworks!
No fireworks. That's foreshadowing.
Live with bears.
I don't think...
Thoroughfare Trail.
Are you about to say spoiler warning again?
For
No.
inexperienced hikers. It is a primitive backcountry trail. The trail may be vague along several stretches and disappears entirely in some washes. It has many confusing side paths.
Cookie Dad!
The trail may be more
No,
difficult
thank you.
than expected.
Or
I'm
just lay
happy.
there.
You're
It is
warm.
common for
I
novice
am warm. I would prefer to be warmer. Here, hold my hand.
I can't
find
reach your hand.
themselves stranded
It's
at
so
night
cold,
without
though.
water.
Wouldn't you like to be cold?
I'll
Prepared.
bump the AC back up in a second.
Put it under your
I hope I'm
blanket,
supposed to be
dummy.
here.
Yeah. There you
Does
go.
that help my arms when Bass is pitting the blanket?
What's that?
I found a hat.
You did?
A hat.
Pick it up.
It's a rodeo hat. Except it's not a rodeo hat. It's a cap.
It's a Wyoming hat.
It says Cody, Wyoming
Boy
on
on a
it.
horse.
But, Wyoming. That's...
Cody,
Well, that's-
Wyoming.
That's where we are. This is a part of Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, Wyoming is known for the
Long
cowboys.
Oh, yeah, I guess
Wait,
so.
really?
That's why it's a rodeo hat. To the best of my knowledge, cowboys and horses are pretty much the only inhabitants of Wyoming.
Seriously? I
And
know next to
bears.
nothing.
And bears,
Federal
yeah.
bears.
And my bag's gone.
Many
Mostly
bear.
federal bears, but
Yeah, that's what I just said. Federal bears.
Many bear? Yay, bear.
In hindsight, I had clearly done everything I needed to do here in this scene. And it took me a lot longer than people probably wanted it to.
Nothing I can do with that.
Yeah.
And so I'm checking everything again.
Please stop.
Well, I mean, it's
not a Sierra adventure. Just move on.
It took me a little while to grasp that. It really did.
I mean, it's an RPG instinct. You have to get all the stuff before
Well,
you
and
move
the
on with
thing
what
is-
you want.
No, it's Sierra Adventures ruined everything for people of my generation and Dad.
Fire danger today.
Well, and the thing is, games like this do have exploration bonuses. Because you can find tiny little story elements if you go out of your way to find them.
Absolutely.
Things that aren't part of the regular go from A to B storyline. If you take that little detour off to the right, you know, maybe you'll find a squirrel eating a candy bar. Or something like that. Well, that's a lesser one. I found more significant things than that in the game. I'm just saying that there are other story elements that you don't get automatically shown. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I skipped a few things that I made notes to go back and check and never did.
By the way,
Oh.
sometime soon, could you give me your Steam login? Because I want to download this.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll uninstall it from my computer because I think I'm done with it now. And you can play it.
You're worried you're getting angrier by the
Okay.
minute.
What?
Gone to bed.
Look, we're family. It's okay.
She's not
Piracy is
quite
against
drunk,
the law.
but she's clearly been having a fun time. You fight when she gets between the sheets.
See, this is one area that I'm wondering if I would have chosen a different couple of choices if this spins off the story in a different direction.
You call her an inconsiderate asshole. She tells you to fuck yourself and to not be such a baby. You call her selfish. She knows you mean it, and it hurts your feelings.
Way to go, jerk face. You killed her.
81 year later. Julia still likes to draw. She draws plants from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you.
Baz, go ask someone else for belly buttons. Fine, I will.
And we are now locked into woods.
Snarf.
Oh, that's not
What?
good.
Rocks.
Of course, you know, in game terms, because of course in real life it would be pretty easy to climb over these rocks, but
Yeah.
I mean, we'll play along.
Because plot doors are fun.
Yeah.
Dead rush. It had
No,
Yeah,
you have
stop
to,
it.
in a game like this, and because they're getting fairly popular,
Firewatch.
you have to be willing to
Ignore certain
be
aspects
told
of
the
reality.
story that they want to tell you.
Well, because let's be honest, this, much more than many other types of games, this is an interactive storybook.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And that's honestly, I prefer something like this to the what's the company that does all of the interactive storybooks now? Daybreak, is that it?
Telltale?
Telltale, not Daybreak. Yeah, Telltale, the ones where it's an interactive storybook.
Yeah. The one that did Tales from the Borderlands, Wolf Among Us.
Walking Dead.
Yeah. Wolf Among Us is actually quite fun.
Matter of fact, they did the new Sam and Max game, one of them.
Really?
Yeah, which, you know, kind of defeats the purpose.
Festival in town. It brings in folks from faraway places.
Notice the music changed and the background colors.
It's dramatic.
Bucket gets kicked. Julia yells. She gets flustered and has trouble speaking when she is stressed. You confront the attacker. I have a temper. arm gets cut up, but you beat the guy to a pulp. You don't feel very tough. You cry your eyes out before the cops show up. Julia asks to take a different path from that day forward. You say okay, you don't want to go that way either. From then on, you walk by the river.
That's a very sad story.
It is.
Plans to have kids get waylaid by work. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale is in Connecticut, 2,000 miles away. It's a great job, associate department chair. She wants to move. You do not.
See, this is the one thing that I wish, well, so far anyway, I can't remember others. I think this is the only big one that I really wish they would have, there would have been different choices. I don't like the being limited to you demand she not move, or you say it's okay but you're staying here. I think you could have told the same story and had the option of you move with her. But, you know, I can kind of see where they felt it was important to split.
The way it is, why you don't have absolute control of the story, because this is telling a specific story, more or less. She lost it on a colleague for borrowing books that were important to her research. She didn't remember she had happily loaned them to him just 2 days prior. And of course, they've already introduced the concept she may have been drunk. She was found crying in the stairwell. Maybe you guys should talk to someone about it. Duh.
Yes, but is Henry that aware?
Yeah, saw it. After seeing multiple doctors and having many tests, they are worried that Julia might be suffering from early onset dementia. She is 41. You both decide to keep it a secret for now. Okay, this is the mid-80s. What was it, 85?
Yeah, 85.
She had early onset dementia at 41. So these are people my parents' age.
You're really stuck on talking about your parents' age, aren't you?
No.
Henry.
Now, when I first played the game, it was just now that I started realizing, you know, it actually hit me that, you know, we were talking about two different time periods. Now, why this is set in the 80s for that age, I don't know for sure. Yeah.
Put that away. And I don't just mean the journal.
Buck is getting older. Julia comments that it's kind of nice because he gets in less trouble around the house. A week later, she goes back to the university. '87, Julia's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in class. Her research is in shambles. She drives her car to the next town over for no particular reason and has to be brought home by the police. She is devastated. She is sent home on permanent medical leave. Some days you get the Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children little idiots. Other days you get a stranger. She pulls you into bed to make love. After 5 minutes, she goes into a panic, believing her dad is at the door. You tell her family. They are crushed and begin to make trips to and from their home in Australia to visit her. For a while, your friends come by with little things to brighten the day. She gets worse. 88. You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between the 2 weekly visits from Daniel the nurse. He suggests that Julia could live somewhere else, somewhere with 24-hour care, a home. It sits with you for a couple of months.
sad and depressed now.
Yep.
Yeah, the game starts out
Pretty depressing.
pretty depressing, yeah.
I
I just want to go sit in a
That's right.
corner and drink Drano, thank you.
is it slaying there?
It's like reading a chord.
Where am I?
You're in hell.
That's clever. That's clever.
There is no turning back. I say as you turn back.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Let's walk all the way back again.
Except you can't.
You're not allowed to.
No, that's not where I jumped down earlier. That's some kind of cave that's been filled in. Cave that's been filled in.
No, this was interesting to me, this particular scene here. The last time I went, seriously hiking, not just, roaming around a place, but actually went off somewhere like 30 miles outside of Ruidoso, New Mexico, to a camping trail on one of the bigger mountains. And, spent a full day with a packed lunch,
See, this one
camping
stays
up
in a lumber
through,
area.
swampy valleys and up rocky hillsides on trails that looked exactly like this. I mean, this looks the way it looks in my memory. A little more watercolory and pastel, artificial
Yeah.
color looking. But this is what my memory of hiking is.
So better concentrate on this.
These prickly logs scare me. Every time you get on one, I'm like, and then he falls and is impaled and dies.
Yep.
The end.
Yeah.
How has he not heard me?
That's probably just because I'm the sort of person who accidentally falls off an elevator and wow and dies.
Okay. Okay.
It is impossibly hard. The worst is when you get mad at her, like when she tries to cook her own food. You can't do anything without her, and she can't do anything without you. When she goes to sleep, you stay up for a few hours, drinking on the deck, watching baseball in the summer, college basketball in the winter, drinking then, too. You start going out after you put her to bed. The first time you do it, you worry about her getting up and walking around while you're gone.
So do you trap her in the flaming inferno of your house?
Yeah.
Or let her wander away?
You go to the same bar at the boring end of Pearl Street. It's nice there. Over time, you tell Sheila, the bartender, everything. It's a huge weight off. You're home and in bed by 1 a.m. a couple of nights a week. You look forward to those nights.
Until
89. One night you're stopped at a DUI checkpoint. You blow it .10 and are taken to jail for the night. You consider trying to hide it, but you tell your sister-in-law, Susan.
for what it's worth, Shannon, if you haven't heard, that's
I'm guessing
10% blood alcohol content. That's incredibly
Julia's
drunk
parents take the
Oh.
next plane from
for
Australia.
a lot of people anyway.
Yeah.
They can't believe the state your house is in. Then they tell you Julia is coming to live with them. You don't argue. You say you'll visit soon. A few weeks go by. Summer is coming and you see an ad in the paper for a job. You take it.
And that leads you to now.
Yeah, they never really say for sure, but I guess they kind of imply that Henry was just a house husband and Julia's job as a professor, was the family income.
That's the impression I got.
Why is the music changing?
And yet, not a lot of associate professors, even ones at Ivy League colleges,
make that much money.
Not enough to maintain 2 separate residences.
Yeah.
And you know...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I guess that, you know, you kind of... You end up reasoning that, you know, Henry must have had a job, but it's, you know, just unimportant. Or maybe it's mentioned at some point in the game and I don't remember.
Well, and of course, once Julia's dementia progresses to a certain point, Henry couldn't hold down a job.
Yeah.
Because Julia does require 24-hour care.
Exactly.
And then you fall through the rickety steps and die at the end.
I guess they sold the second house once Julia got put on permanent medical leave?
Probably. Or I don't know. I mean, maybe she rented an apartment there, or who knows.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, it's still maintaining 2 separate residences, because I doubt that Yale provides free quarters for their teachers.
Yeah. But no, I was talking about after. If you're put on permanent medical leave, are you still paid or nah?
She might have been, you know, because she was there for a few years, and she, you know, was apparently sought out by Yale. I mean, that might have really good benefits. And of course, she was apparently, you know, a college professor before going to Yale.
Hello, Two Forks Tower.
The cabin is talking to me.
Or maybe it's the radio.
Tower, this is Thoroughfare Tower. Come in.
And of course, I'm sitting here thinking, how? Okay, I can bring that up. Now what do I do?
Say hello, Henry.
Delilah. Talk to Delilah.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
Delilah.
So, what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
Delilah how?
People take this job to get away from something. So, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine, then can I sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay,
I
go ahead.
feel...
You've killed 3 ex-husbands. You're rebelling against Mom. Nobody back home can stand you.
Okay, you've killed 3 husbands. You're a black widow and you're just out here until the heat dies down and then you'll kill again.
Ooh, very good. Bravo, Henry.
Okay, I sleep now?
Not quite. Now you.
Okay, good night, bye.
Let's see. I don't know anything about you, but maybe you just really like trees. Maybe it's... Gosh, maybe it's a borderline fetish. A tree fetish.
Good night.
Good night. Welcome to the job.
Good night, Irene.
I will be right back.
Okay. Now, I need to let this go all the way through. Because, you know, we're recording over a fully mastered video.